Hello everybody, today we will be ranking Murder Drones characters based on aura. Because you know what matters most in Murder Drones? That's right, aura. Who cares about characters, writing, music, animation? None of this actually matters. What matters most is aura, so the best character is the person who is highest on that aura ranking. And let's go over the tiers real quick. We got most aura, impressive aura, intermediate aura, some aura, and aura debt, which means basically their aura is so low that it will be passed down generations. If they have kids, their kids will have to pay off their aura debt for them. That's how bad it is. And believe me, some characters will be in that aura debt tier, such as Rebecca over here. Probably the character with the least aura in the entire series. And let me tell you why. First of all, she's a bully. That's already minus aura. Second of all, she died in one of the most embarrassing ways possible. She wanted to go into a creepy cabin just to make out. That's minus aura. That is. Like there's no avoiding that. That is an aura loss. And her friends saw her last moments when she was split in half crawling away. That's an aura loss. I can't lie. If you're gonna die, at least do it in an auraful way. This is not it. This is not what we want to be seeing. And the probably the worst part of it all, honestly, is the fact that she straight up got humbled by Lizzy in episode 3. Lizzy said, "You can't sit with us, Rebecca," and she just went along with it. Lizzy, of all people, someone with, spoiler alert, no aura, got humbled this person. So, Rebecca, absolutely no aura. And let's keep going on with some benchmarks. Some aura, they got a little bit. In some aura, we're gonna put Nori. Or, I guess this also is Nori. Like, I don't know, there's some duplicates on here. So we'll just be ignoring this one, and some of the other ones that we'll get to later. Nori. Low-key low on the aura scale, but not like the worst. She gained some aura for helping N defeat Uzi Sin. And that's the only thing she's done. Aura loss for abandoning Khan and traumatizing him, or a loss for getting punted into the hole by your own child. That is crazy. Honestly, I wouldn't take that. And that loses Nori a lot of aura points. And also just the fact that she got humbled so bad by a disassembly drone that she straight up became a core. Like, that's how are you gonna let that happen? And she got saved by N? Nah. We're not letting this slide. We are not going to let this slide. Some aura, only because she helped N defeat Uzi Sin. That's it. Other than that, she's basically an aura debt. Intermediate aura. A little bit of aura, loses some aura, it goes back and forth, right? You gain some, you lose some. That's just how it is. And in that middle section, we're going to have N over here. N is a tough one because sometimes he loses aura, like immensely, to the fact that he goes down to 0. And then randomly he'll go back up, all the way back to 100. Like take episode 7 for example. First, he defeated Uzi Sin. Insane aura gain. But just before that, he got dragged away and almost got killed by a bunch of hands. Not a lot of aura from that, if you know what I mean, right? That is, like I said, going from the lows to the highs. It's the peak and the bottom of aura, which is why I think he encapsulates the intermediate section very well. Impressive aura, meaning they have a lot of aura, but they've got a few things keeping them down from going to the top. And right there, we're going to have Alice. Now, Alice has a lot of aura. She stopped Uzi, N, and V with one flash, got the disassembly drone to kill a bunch of worker drones for her so she could upgrade herself. And honestly, the way she upgraded herself is aura too. She got the disassembly drone tail, the antlers, that's all awesome. Only problem, like I said, one or two things keeping her from the top spots over there. And one is the way she went out. She got stomped on by a sentinel. She was trying to close the door and a massive aura loss, which by the way is the most important part of a death. If your death doesn't have aura, then it's not a good death, right? She got stomped on. Her head got smushed in by a foot. Like, really, man? That's terrible. Honestly horrible. Also, she got bullied by Nori in the Cabin Fever labs, which she couldn't really help, but she is gonna lose some aura because it's Nori. Come on. Finally, we're gonna have most aura, meaning they have an insane amount of aura, and basically they're just the top. And right here, we're gonna have Dr. Ridley. Everything about them screams aura. The way they moved, the way they talked, their accent, their cross, just every single thing of them was made with aura farming in mind. And that is why she deserves a top spot up there. Only thing is, she did die, which is low-key mad embarrassing. But she died to Sin, which is the most powerful character in the show. So I can't take off too many points for that, therefore, most aura, obviously. Now we're gonna go in the order here. First off, we got V. I'm gonna put her in impressive aura. Because here's the thing. She, most of the time, crazy characters, a lot of aura. She's a great fighter. A lot of her fights are cool to watch. That's aura. However, she did get bodied by Uzi in episode 4. And that is not it, man. Because Uzi was on a little bit of a rampage. You're a trained disassembly drone. You've been doing this stuff for a while. You've taken out probably solver drones before. Actually, no, you have. You took out Yeva. You took out solver drones before. And a super inexperienced one like Uzi, who's on a rampage, not even thinking, calculating straight, and you lost so easily. That is super embarrassing. Therefore, she's going to not be in the top spot. And also for the fact she low-key got embarrassed by N in episode 1. Doug, what are these ads? Alright, now we're gonna have J. And honestly, I'm sorry, man. It's aura dead. J has no aura. Let's go through all of their appearances real quick. Let's see where they could have possibly gained any. Episode 1. Loki got bodied by Uzi because she got, a normal worker drone. That's it. She avoided one bullet with the solver. She got stabbed, and Jay got stabbed in her foot with the tail, and then got her head blown off. Oh, a normal worker drone, by the way. Episode 2 got her skin or metal casing used as a puppet. Minus aura. Episode 3, she came back. That was Loki plus aura. Episode 4, she didn't appear. Episode 5, we'll get to that. I'm counting the May version separately. Episode 6, she got bossed around by Tessa and couldn't land a single hit on Doll, which is extremely embarrassing. I wouldn't take that if I was her. Episode 7, she got run over by a bus. In episode 8, she got bodied by V. She got bonked on the head by a railgun. And she just got taken out of the fight like it was nothing. Not a single thing there, besides coming back to life, was plus aura. And even then, she did nothing with it. Therefore, she is going to have to go in the aura debt tier. Next up, we have James. Why is he here twice? This is the exact same guy. I'm not tripping, right? I get having some extras here like Nori and Mitchell, but James, really? Whatever. James, and while we're at it, we'll do Louisa too. They're abusive. That's basically all they are. They're mean. And they got taken out by Sin, so that's aura debt right there. Yet they still have more aura than Jay. Anyways, the maids. Maid N, he has more aura than normal N because he stood up and saved Sin. And I guess Tessa too, but mostly Sin when she was talking back. That's aura. I mean, he stood up for what he thinks is right, so I'm going to give him the impressive aura tier. Maid V, she's shy, she doesn't really talk. She somehow got stalemated by Maid J there for a second, so I'm going to give her some aura, just for the fact that she did have that cool design. Maid J, she actually did some stuff. Unlike this J down here, she actually did some stuff, and she was cool with the sword and the gun. So I'm going to give her intermediate aura. This guy, aura debt. Braiden, Low key, he's gonna have to go in most aura. I'm sorry, he does. And here's why. He has his head on fire all the time, and he just takes it. He doesn't care. This could be glaze right here. This could be glaze. But I'm sorry, man. Just the fact that your head is on fire whole time, and he doesn't care. And that's based, honestly. That gets him a lot of aura. So therefore, I'm going to have to put him at the top of the aura tier. Now we got the teacher. And this is tough, but I think they've got some of the most aura in the series. They're just so nonchalant. Never showing a care about anything. The core exploded. And he just shrugged it off. He was like, "Oh shit, man, just another Tuesday." You know what I mean? That's aura. Wow, what am I doing? Oh, this video is a joke, man. Anyways, this guy. Why is. You know what? We're not ranking you. You don't get ranked at all. Tessa Spacesuit. Okay, technically this is Sin, but they act so differently that I will rank them separately. And I'm going to give them intermediate aura. And here's why. So, they low-key had a lot of aura moments when it was just their visor reflecting. But they got embarrassed by the dinosaur. They got embarrassed by Doll. They got embarrassed by Alice and Beau. And they're Sin. How are you going to get embarrassed by those guys if you're Sin? Is keeping up the facade really that important where you gotta do all that? I don't know, man. It's Braiden here twice, bro. Oh my goodness, this tier list, man. Emily. Oradet, I'm sorry, man. The only reason she would ever get any aura is because Uzi gained aura from ripping her apart. She has no aura. She sold the group. She sold. She said splitting up is good, and that was not what the book said. And she sold the group. That's just how it is, man. They could have lived if it weren't for her. Plus, she's basically just as much of an outcast as Uzi, and yet she's still talking all this shit. Nah. Get down there. Sam, most aura. Stoner, come on. That's aura. Darren, intermediate aura. He gains aura for being able to land a kiss on N's arm. That is immense aura. However, he's kind of stupid, so he lowers it to the middle. The bugs, dude. Do I have to rank the bugs? Can we just skip the bugs? Awesome. Keybug. I'll rank the Keybug. You know what? For all you bug enthusiasts out there. They avoided Uzi's SWAT, and they made it to the end of the series despite being a bug. So I think that's impressive aura. Tessa, the actual Tessa. She locked Sin away. Not aura. She is a gravedigger. Not aura. She did save N, J, and V, so that is aura. However, Sin gave her a clear way out, and she decided to be the hero and go in. Which, whether you want to say that's aura or not is debatable, but I don't know, man. It's a 50-50, because on one hand, she died when she really didn't need to, but on the other hand, she was a hero, so I don't know. I guess for now we'll put her in intermediate since there's a lot of things bringing her up, a lot of things bringing her down. This is just Uzi, but in crow form, and low-key, the crow form, that's aura. How are you going to get reincarnated, or not reincarnated? How are you going to possess the crow of all animals? That's, no. Lord Frumptlebucket, most aura in the series. I mean, he has one line, and it's the best line in the series, right? How are you going to get more auraful than that? You just can't, right? Not to mention, he's easily the most recognizable character in the show. I mean, you show anybody this frame, they know who it is, right? Beau, impressive aura. I'll give him impressive aura. Because he is a bit cowardly, so that's a bit of an aura loss. However, he sacrificed himself for V and Uzi when he didn't need to. It's not like he had a way out like Tessa did. He just wanted to be a hero. Even though he's just a baby, and that is respectable. So I put him in impressive aura. And also his hat is low-key fire. Lizzy, aura dead. Terrible. Bully, clowned on by literally anyone, ragdolled by the Sentinel, embarrassed by Sparky, who's the Sentinel. Like, come on, man. Episode 7, a little bit of aura back, and then she lost it all in episode 8. Nah. And also, just for the record, this Sentinel is Sparky, if you know by the frame. Later on, they get the red eyes, but it doesn't matter. Most aura. They went against their programming. They went against Sin. V rode them like a dinosaur horse thing, which is awesome. They ragdolled Lizzy. There's nothing he can't do. Sparky is the GOAT. And another character with the most aura, Mitchell. He played the hero. He didn't need to. He went, he got Yeva. He noticed something was off. His aura senses were tingling. Holy shit, man. What am I doing? His aura senses were tingling. And he was like, something may be off here. So he closed the door. He didn't let Yeva in. And he was right. And that paid off because Yeva saved him. Impressive. Impressive work, Mitchell. Not to mention, I still headcanon he lived to this day, and if you tell me he didn't, I refuse to believe you, so that's aura in my book. Sin. They're a tricky one. Because they have a lot of aura farming moments, but then they got embarrassed by Uzi, who had like a month of training compared to her, who's been around for like a couple years now, and kind of destroyed a bunch of planets, and then got overconfident and lost. That is a major aura loss. However, I think I'm gonna have to put her impressive aura because that's exactly what this tier is for. Because they were able to destroy a lot of planets, kill a lot of people, and get away with it, all while aura farming in the process. Now, normally killing people would be an aura loss, but the fact that she aura farmed while doing it gives her an aura gain here. And that's just not something people can pull off in real life. This is the only thing you can get in fiction. Someone who aura farms on their level while destroying a planet. However, she got overconfident and lost to Uzi, therefore, we can't really put her in the most aura tier, right? Because that's embarrassing. The people you were controlling, N and V, helped get rid of you. And you're stuck living inside of Uzi too. Embarrassing. It is, honestly. So, impressive aura for Sin. Con. I'm trying to think, has he ever lost aura? I mean, episode 1, he chose the right decision. Maybe not the most auraful decision, but it was the morally right decision. Being a bad father is also minus aura, but he made up for that later. I'm going to put him in impressive aura, because episode 1 is a mixed bag. He has a sick design, so that's plus aura. But he was a bad dad, so that's minus. He left Uzi to die, which, while I do think is the right decision, it is the less auraful decision. So that's minus. But then everything after that is plus. Especially in episode 7, he gained a lot of it back. So I'm going to have to put him in impressive. Bad, most aura. Episode 1, sorted to the disassembly drones. Didn't need to. No one else would. He knew he would lose, and yet he did it anyway. Now, that's what I call aura. Uzi is intermediate. Hear me out. She got bodied a lot. For everyone she won against, she also lost against. Think, right? She got possessed by Sin. That's an aura loss. She beat Doll. That's a gain. She almost lost to Eldritch J. That's an L. But she did beat V in episode 4, even if she wasn't under control. And she did beat Sin in episode 8, which would have given her a lot more if it weren't for the fact she got humbled so terribly and got her core ripped out. Terrible. Therefore, we're going to have to put her smack up in the middle for the fact she gets used as a ragdoll a bit too much for me to consider putting her in the upper echelon. Yeva. Most aura. Plays Tetris. Does not care. Saved Mitchell. Plus aura. Got the pact in Nori and got rid of Sin from her. Also plus. Shielded Nori from the explosion. Nori's kind of cringe, so you could say that's an L, but just for the heroics of it, we'll put it as a plus. Yeva is the goat. One of the goats. Like, 20th of the goats. Doll. I'm gonna put her in impressive. She had a lot of aura moments, but there were two things keeping her down. One, she got tricked by the solver so badly. It was honestly embarrassing how badly she got tricked. And two, she got snuck up on by V, and that's embarrassing. She got shot. However, in her final moments, she did end up telling Uzi to fight back, playing a bit of a hero even in her final moments, so that is plus aura in my opinion. And all these characters are repeats or irrelevant, or we don't care. That is it for the tier list. Let me know if you agreed. If you didn't, you're wrong, because this is obviously the objective list. Like, subscribe, and hype if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.